Hi and welcome to this new moon reading. This new moon is in Virgo after this very eruptive time, and we will see what the astrology will say. But before that, I will have a look into the cards. And the cards from my deck that I've pulled are Moon, Nightmare, Nude Uranus and Challenge. And I would say in the astrology, Uranus talks about very personal, very individual trauma. This individual trauma always is connected to a collective trauma. Sometimes it is a trauma that we carry for our ancestors. Sometimes it is a trauma that we carry on for lifetimes and is not only from us but from our tribe. So Uranus is very often something that has been experienced collective and is lived out individually and is also healed individually. And with Uranus moon, there is a theme around personal trauma, and with Nightmare I think we will be confronted with thoughts that come from the past, thoughts that arose out of this trauma. And it is, because it is a new moon in Virgo, it is a time to heal that. It is a time that these emotions can be transformed. I mean, I would say during this new moon our emotions are the field where we might be aware what went wrong or what is wrong or what wants to be healed, but our emotions are also the field where we are able to heal that. I mean, in the astrology, Mercury is together with Psyche, and the asteroid Psyche is one of those celestial bodies that has to do with the journey of the soul. And with Mercury it says now it is a time to reflect, now it is a time to understand more, and it is a square. This new moon is in a square to Mars, so we should be careful not to be too judgmental. I mean, Virgo sometimes can be very judgmental and can be very guilt driven, and it is not about guilt. It is not about blaming others, and it is not about blaming ourselves. This will not bring us any further. We have to let go of that. We have to use Mars in Gemini as the sharp mind that sees through the veils of our trauma, because in the end this trauma will remind us that something is ready to go. We have also Ceres with Venus in a square to Uranus on the North Node and Saturn in Aquarius. So I would say it is a time where something wants to be released in our relationship, where the question is what values are not longer serving us or are not longer serving our society even. But we can only find the solution if we are able to work through our own trauma, and if we use the opportunities that arise with Mercury, Pluto, we will have a lot of awareness, a lot of insights that will help us to go forward, that will help us to find solutions. Mercury, Pluto and Psyche is very, very deep. So there are insights that come from deep within, or someone else suddenly says something that hits us and where we know and where we feel the truth. But Mercury is also in an opposition to Neptune. So these insights are not something we can push for. It is not something we can demand. It is something that is part of the process. We will not be able to ship around the process. We have to go through this process of what are the values we have to let go and what are the values we are keeping. What are the thoughts that are arising out of our nightmares, out of our traumas, and what is that wants to heal out of that? What is it wants to be born anew out of that? I mean, during the last moons, Ceres was often in the game, and Ceres not only has to do with what we have to let go of, but also what we invite as something new, so that it can bear more fruits and more life. But we have to be courageous enough to let go what needs to let go of. And I would say during this new moon it is a lot about our emotions that are born out of our trauma and our thoughts that are born out of this trauma, and certain structures in our relationships and certain structures of our values that need to be reformed and that need to be born anew. And I mean, Virgo is the time where we harvest, and what is not serving for the winter is not necessarily bad, or what we let go of is not necessarily wrong. And even if we were on the wrong path for a certain amount of time, it doesn't serve us to blame us for that. It just serves us to correct. So Virgo is very practical, and Virgo is a sign of healing. So this is a new moon of healing, something that is buried in our emotions and is influencing our thoughts and is influencing our value system and wants to be let go of. So I hope this was helpful to you. I wish you a time where you can harvest a lot of new life for you and a lot of new possibilities, new choices and new adventures. Till next time, namaste.